Kids, today we're going to talk about the gay agenda or the gay movement. Now, I'm an old fag. I'm a cisgendered old fag. I guess today I have to say that I'm cisgendered. Back when I was a young fag, I may or may not have been cisgendered. I pulled off some good drag stunts. So, did that make me cis? I don't know. Today's too confusing. Now, the LGB movement added T, they added Q, they added plus, and it's got to be a study that you have to get a doctorate degree and do all these calculations in order to understand. Now, back in my day, it was pretty simple. This was the concept. The concept was stop putting our sexuality at the top of our aspects in life. That gay people, bisexual people, every kind of people are everywhere like cockroaches. But gay people specifically were like cockroaches. We were everywhere. And we threw in bisexuals because gays wanted to make them feel comfortable, even though gays had some hostility at the time with the bisexual community because the gays didn't really understand it. They've learned to understand it a little bit more, and happy to throw them in because at times bisexual people are acting gay, and at times they're straight. That's why they're bisexual. So it was a pretty simple concept. Come out in great numbers. Show the world we're like cockroaches. We're everywhere. That we're not harmful. That we're not scary. That we're in your everyday life, doing all kinds of jobs in every kind of environment, from conservative small towns to big cities. That we weren't all just florists and hairdressers and wedding planners. That we had other skills. And we drove trucks, we did manly man work, we were airline pilots, we were whatever. And it seems to me that we did a pretty good job of getting noticed as far as normalizing to a point. We normalized homosexuality and bisexuality in the world at large. At least they got more comfortable than they were. They're not, there's a lot of people that still aren't comfortable with the concept, but we've made progress. Somewhere along the line, as I've gotten old and you can only come out once. It's only that, you can only be that surprising once. I've kind of tuned out, and recently I've come in contact with this gay group online, on Facebook as a matter of fact, and it's all about the family of all these people. But this family has gotten very large and very complicated and very specific. And how do you expect to feel like be treated like a human being if you have to go on for a half an hour explaining exactly what you are and exactly what pronouns you want people to address you in, etc., etc., etc. People just aren't that interested. If they were, they'd go to college and study the subject. So you're not keeping it simple. The old rule, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. But instead, this younger generation has decided to make this super complicated and super specific. And they use other pronouns except he, she. Now they have they, thus, this, it, whatever. I had trouble. I mean, I read some of this stuff and it just fries my mind. I mean, if you're asexual, you have to declare if you're cis asexual or non-cis asexual. You're asexual. Why? How do you cis that? How do you not cis that? I don't get it. And I don't get why it matters, frankly. So supposedly in this day and age, I'm not just a fag, I'm a cis fag. Do you think it changed my life at all to add the word cis? Didn't change me, it just made it more confusing. And if I had to write it down on paper, it just makes more work. So I know this is going to be unpopular because I'm supposed to be hip and cool and with it all, and I do understand what they're trying to say. I just disagree with them saying it because it's taking away from the initial movement, which was treat us like human beings. I mean, your sexuality should be like 18th thing on the list of attributes of your life. It shouldn't be first. That was the goal. So then why make it so important to be called by the proper pronoun when you're just fortunate enough that people are calling, regardless of what they're calling you, they're calling. Because even cisgendered heterosexual people don't get a lot of calls sometimes. And they're just happy when people call. So, something to think about. I'd love some feedback on it. Talk to you later.